Your light illuminates their imperfections, hence their attempts to dull your shine. Light 'em up.
My name and flowers grew right out the brown soil. My vision's clear as glass, the robe is purple satin plus the crown's royal. Allow me to give you a demonstration. Holding your breath, waiting for me to fail only brings hyperventilation. See, I'm a soldier that's ready for any situation. So me and life double dated my trials and tribulations. Won't be remembered for not speaking out. I Google map my whole approach, so I chose not to take the peaceful route. I promise I can't make this shit up. I shed a tear, then use the mic stand to hold my chin up. They plot and strategize on different ways to make me give up. That's easier said than done, like a woman that's 9 months pregnant doing sit-ups. Yeah, I read the book of life, defeat was never in my story. Just brutal fights on the battlefield that's bloody and gory. Showing off is a fool's idea of glory. Call me foolish, stand in the clutch, I make them drop like I was Robert Ory. See, in this world you gotta sink or swim. Boy, I'm a legend, when I die my presence never will be felt again. This greatness rare, but see, I kept it in. Isolation in the demons, guardian angels been my only friend. I've been at war with myself in silence. Had a mental malfunction, forced to go into hiding. For powerless like
right now, cause then you gonna understand, whoever get in my way, I'ma dog walk their ass.
Yes, sir. Yes, indeed. You know who it is, man. It's your boy, Big Mike Raider. We got some things to talk about. We're going to wrap up a little bit of the week 1 stuff, man. You know, there's been some buzz, heavy buzz around Geno Smith. We got to talk about it. And we got to also talk about kind of an early preview, not really talking too much about the Chargers. We're going to save that for later this week, perhaps tomorrow or Thursday. Maybe tomorrow. We'll look into it tomorrow. But I want to talk about, you know, the things that are kind of ailing this team, at least what we saw from week 1. And that was that offensive line, right? We got to talk about a little bit of the offensive line. The PFF grades came out, and I know a lot of you guys are like, okay, a PFF grade, I'm not really a big fan of PFF, or, you know, how do they even measure success and things like that? Well, the grades came out, and it matches the eyeball test for me. We're going to share what PFF has to say. We're going to go over power rankings real quick, and then, hey, man, we're going to have some Q&A. You guys know how we do it. But before we get started, you guys know the deal. We got 25 in the building, man. Let's warm this thing up. Share this thing out on all socials. And make sure when you get here, man, you make sure you like the thumb. Hit the sub and share with your folks. And, guys, become a member of the Big Mike Raider Fleet, man. The link is right here, popped up right here. You guys know what to do. Hit that link and become a member of the Big Mike Raider Fleet. It's pinned up at the top. We got 24 in the building. We're going to let this thing warm up just a little bit, and then we're going to get some things started, man. But before we do that, let me shout out you guys, man. Shout out to Carlos and Fuego in the building, a member of the Big Mike Raider Fleet. Appreciate you, man. My big dog, my dog, Big Mike Raider, is just when I'm excited. Next time you grab Hammer and Big Mike. Hey, if they want to come through, if they want to do a show, man, you already know I'm down, man. We can do that. You know how we do it over here, man. Shout out to Just Raiders, baby. Salute to my guy, Big Mike. Hey, man, salute to you. Thanks for popping in. We got Tokyo Raider in the building. We got Mad Mike in the building, from one Mad Mike to the next. Salute to you, man. We got Isaiah R in the building. Man, we got Jordy Robinson, a member of the Big Mike Raider Fleet. He already says Big Mike Raider. You already know, man. We got D-Mac, 112 in the building. We got 33 in the building. Guys, let's get this thing started. I think it warmed up just enough to get it started, man. So let's look at the power rankings, guys. According to NFL power rankings, the Raiders are ranked 23rd right now. I'm going to read the blurb that's on the power rankings. It says, not a bad Raiders debut for Geno Smith. Everybody's talking about Geno Smith, guys. Even with the early pick against the Patriots, he regained command, withstood several hits and 4 sacks, and did what he needed to do in a 362-yard outing. And, you know, after that pick, you know, we're used to, in years past, the team kind of unraveling from that point. What they did was, instead of unraveling, they made adjustments. They were a little bit sputtering kind of in that second quarter, as you guys know, but they made adjustments in the second half, and Geno Smith was on fire, absolutely on fire. But he says with Brock Bowers on the sideline at game's end, says 362-yard outing with Brock Bowers on the sideline at game's end. Ashton Jeanty did not have a lot of room to run, and we're going to talk about that, right? Not a lot of room to run. This offensive line, the pass blocking has to be fixed. We got to fix it if we think we're going to be beating the Chargers in this game, man. So keep it going. But he was pretty forceful in a few key short yardage situations. Absolutely. There were some key at the beginning of the game, particularly. He was getting about 6 to 8 yards a pop. And, I thought he was going to go off, but things kind of slowed down. They were sending heavy blitz. They really committed to stopping the run, and can't blame 100% on the offensive line. But there's one particular play that I want to talk about. It's a key. It's not a key play, but it's one of the sacks that Geno Smith took, and it's an example of the bad and the ugly and the good out of it. And we can get everything out of this one play, and I'll show you what we're talking about. But he says he was pretty forceful in a few key short yardage situations. Defensively, the Raiders were pretty outstanding, patching a few leaky holes early. It wasn't the cleanest game of all time, and the pass protection issues need to be ironed out. Yes, pass protection issues need to be ironed out as well as the run protection. But the energy and toughness were notable upgrades in Pete Carroll's debut. One thing that we have noticed with Pete Carroll's team is that it looks a lot different than we've seen in years past, particularly, as we've said, that the adjustments that were made in that second half. I have at least one eye on this team. So people are watching, right? People are watching the Raiders. They're slowly climbing that power rankings. The Chargers are in the top 10 of that power rankings. Doesn't really matter too much, but a win on Monday Night Football versus a Chargers team who look like they're trying to really be a competitor in the AFC and really competing for a Super Bowl. If we get a win right here, people are going to be watching. People are going to be paying attention and saying some things about us. So this is a big game, guys, and people are already talking. People got some eyes on us already. Everybody wants to talk about Geno Smith, right? Here's the first video that I want to show you guys about, it's from Colin Cowherd. He said some things about Geno Smith, and I want to share it with you. Let's check it out. Not that one. We're going to show this one right now. Let's see this one right here.
We've talked about this before about Geno Smith. If you give Geno a little time, and if you give Geno Smith a run game, Geno can sit in the pocket. I thought Geno Smith made about 4, 5, 6 throws today, big time throws, and he's not my favorite quarterback, but I looked at the Raiders coaching. To your point, I looked at the energy of the staff. The Raiders are going to beat teams in their division.
Yeah. I don't like the way that dude said yeah at the end, but that's just me. I'm always nitpicking at something, right? But hey, Colin Cowherd has already got his eyes on this Raiders team, particularly Geno Smith. We're talking about, a guy who has all the weapons already. We've seen the weapons in action. It's no secret. It's no coincidence. It's no, fluke to throw for 360 plus yards, right? But he did say a key thing. If we have a running game, right? And, everybody kind of made an emphasis on that Patriots team to stop Ashton Jeanty from running that ball. But, after a while, hey, some teams are going to be like, hey, we know you can't run the ball. Go ahead and pass on us. We're going to be in some coverage to where you're going to have to force some balls in between coverage and things like that. So that's more of an importance that we do establish a run game. Now, the first game, everybody in the world knew that the Raiders want to feed Ashton Jeanty, right? But as the games go along, if Ashton Jeanty and this offensive line shows that they can't break him free, it's going to put Geno Smith in a compromising situation, and we got to fix that right now. But before we get into that next video, guys, let me acknowledge you guys. Shout out to you guys. We got 49 in the building, man. Let's hear what you got to say. Shout out to D Mac 112. Salute to you, man. Let me see. We got Oakland Diva in the building. Raiders, you already know. Thanks for popping in. Let's see. Kenny Clark says we are better than the Bolts. I think so too. I think that offense was formidable. And that defense, people are starting to pay attention to this defense as well. They look excellent, particularly in that second half where they only gave up 3 points with 19 seconds left in the fourth quarter. Pretty much shut out the Patriots that second half. But that's also attributed to an offensive coordinator in Josh McDaniels, who doesn't know how to make second half adjustments. I'm going to throw in some punches on Josh McDaniels as much as I can. So, we'll see the true test. This is a formidable Chargers team offensively, and we're going to have to bring our A game, but we'll definitely see, man. Kenny Clark says no rain in the Death Star. Yeah, even more importantly, right? Geno Smith looks even better when he's in a contained environment with no weather and things like that. So, hey, Geno Smith can very well throw for another 360, maybe even 400 yards if you let him. So I'm excited, man. And he says Geno will exploit the bolts. I think so too. He can. And we're going to get into a matchup breakdown tomorrow, but we got to talk about some buzz surrounding this Raiders team, particularly Geno Smith. It's a lot of things going on with Geno Smith. Eyes are on him heavy right now. Let's see. We need to block 52 and 90. Yeah, no doubt, man. Lecky T in the building. Mike, salute, Usman. Hey, salute to you, man. Thanks for popping in. We got Cameron Moses in the building. I'm so glad we didn't lose to Josh McDaniels. Yeah, it felt good, man. You beat him down real good, man, for sure. Tokyo Raider, the O-line needs to work the run game. The run game is going to have to balance us out with the Chargers. Yeah. Can't expect play action to work 2 games in a row, right? At some point, you got to show that you can actually run the ball. First game, you have a reputation based on what people are saying about you, right? There's no film on tape, right? But when they see that these offensive linemen really struggle with trying to establish, the run game and really struggle with pass blocking in certain situations, they're going to force you to run the ball. They're going to throw extra people in the box, run the ball, go ahead. Or if you show you can't run the ball, we're going to be in soft coverage. Now you got to pass. And we know you're passing. And there's not too many quarterbacks in this league that can still perform in those kind of conditions. So we definitely got to get the run game going, man. Shout out to Tokyo Raider, man. We got John B in the building. Salute to you, man. DMAC 112 says O-line's got to be better in the run game against the Chargers. Absolutely, man. That is number one priority on the list. And we'll talk about it a little bit tomorrow, man. We're going to talk about it briefly today, but tomorrow we're definitely going to get a little bit deeper into Monday Night Football matchup with the Chargers. Herman Munster in the building. Raiders, you already know, man. And we got Ken in the building. Salute to you, man. And we got 56, man. You guys already know what to do. Let's get them likes up and share it out on all socials, man. And let's get these numbers up, man. Let's see. So here's the next one right here, talking about Geno Smith and this Raiders team. And this is coming from Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman had some nice things to say about the Raiders and Geno Smith. Let's hear what he has to say, man.
In the game, and they're playing smart football. Then offensively, you see Geno Smith, who can deal. I know people thought, oh, it's just a fluke in Seattle, and he had that 1 year. No, mentally he's figured it out. He's processing. He's a great processor in the NFL, and it shows week in and week out. He was dealing to these tight ends, both Mayer and Brock Bowers. He also had some cool passes to you just said his name.
Jacoby Myers.
Sorry. He had some great plays to Jacoby Myers, but he just looks like he's in command. I know last year everybody was down on him. I thought the offensive line he was playing behind just didn't have enough. They were beat up. They were injured, had some holes, had some issues. But when he has time, Geno Smith can deal. And even on the interception today to Brock Bowers, it appeared to me like it hit Brock Bowers' hands, got tipped up in the air, intercepted. It didn't seem like it was one of those passes where Geno just threw it to the other team, or he just made a bad read, or the ball slipped out his hand. I thought it was a solid pass. Maybe he forced it into a little tight coverage, and it was a contested catch.
Yeah, and I agree with Richard Sherman right here. I stopped the video for a second. But, when he did throw that interception, I thought that it was a calculated risk, and it was a heat check, I think, right? he was wheeling and dealing on that first drive, and that second drive, he was looking excellent too. And he threw it in man-to-man coverage. We saw this in training camp where we saw Brock Bowers one-on-one with somebody and win those type of situations. A better ball, Brock Bowers is coming up with it. Too bad it wasn't placed in the right position. It got tipped, and then, two defenders behind him was Johnny on the spot with that one. But, I wasn't even too mad at it, right? It was a heat check. And, later on, it ended up being like kind of a momentum swing from that point, but it wasn't a terrible interception. It wasn't like he was trying to he was doing too much or anything like that. It was a calculated risk, and I'm okay with it 9 times out of 10. Let's keep it rolling.
But I didn't think it was a bad decision overall, and I think 362 yards on this defense, I feel good about that. I'm sure Raiders fans feel real confident. I thought their defense.
Yeah, and you know what? He said 362 yards on that Patriots defense. Say what you want about the Patriots. That front seven was excellent, right? And, the corners may have not been at full strength, but that front seven is formidable right there, getting after the quarterback. And even despite that, they were, we still got a 400 total yards of offense, 362 being a large majority of that total yards. But it looked good. It looked good. The offense, even with a game that you would say they probably played a B minus type of game, still put up 400 total yards. So, hey, so far so good with these Raiders offense, man.
It's played really well. And I think, again, Pete Carroll is not going to be out of many of these games. You're not going to find many games where Pete Carroll just gets, their team gets beat by 2 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns. Like, even when we weren't a great team, we didn't lose by much if we lost. We're within 1 score by the end of the game. We're in striking range. We're fighting, and I think he has all the pieces that he needs to make these plays and continue to make a run. Even with this defense not as technically talented as the rest of the league, he knows what the guys that he needs, and he's going to make it work. And I think the Raiders are going to surprise people this year. I think they're going to be solid. I think they're going to be fighting for that 7th seed.
Hey, you heard Richard Sherman. He thinks the Raiders are going to be fighting for a wild card spot. Let me know what you think. Raiders in the wild card, Raiders fighting for that playoff spot. Let me know. I think this second game versus the Chargers is really going to tell where we stand in the NFL, right? The Chargers they look formidable. They look like a team that is ready to compete, like I've said before. And, in saying that, if the Raiders can pull off a win, even though it's at home, raucous crowd, home opener, the emotions are at a high for this Monday night game. But if they can pull this one off, man, there's going to be some serious talks with the Raiders of the Raiders being a playoff contender. Let me know what you guys think, man. But got one more. Shout out to your boy Q. He has some things to say about the Raiders as well, and Geno Smith. Let's hear what he has to say.
Get on to the players that execute it and make it go. We got to start with Geno Smith, right? Completed 24 of 34 of his passes, 70.6% for 362 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick, and had 102.8 passer rating. He notched his 21st game with 100-plus passer rating since 2022, minimum 20 attempts. His 21 games are tied for the 4th most in the NFL over that span. Also completed 9 passes for 20-plus yards in the game. That tied for the most in a game in his career. His 9 completions of 20-plus yards are also tied for the most in a single game by a Raiders quarterback since at least 1991.
Yo, and I said this on Sunday immediately after the game. This was probably one of the best performances, most electrifying performances I've seen from a Raider quarterback in a very long time. And I couldn't really think of the last time I saw a performance that electrifying where there was, every play seemed like a chunk play, right? And I was thinking back to like maybe Derek Carr when he had the 500-yard game. He did that, but he didn't have as many 20-yard games. The game also went to overtime. And then, I was like, that kind of that dark era when we had a bunch of revolving door quarterbacks where it didn't really look so great. Jason Campbell did okay. Carson Palmer did okay for a little bit. But even before that with Rich Gannon, we still didn't get that kind of electrifying type of play. We also didn't get the level of improvisation that we saw from Geno Smith when he rolls out to the left and his one option is to dish it out to Ashton Genty. Instead, he throws it across his body to the opposite end of the field and finds an open Michael Mayer, man. That's a special type of play that we haven't seen from a quarterback in a very long time. So, there's Geno Smith was playing some special ball this Sunday, and people are watching, man. If I haven't made that point already, man, let's keep it rolling.
Yeah, that was Geno Smith. 9 completions of 20-plus yards. I mean, how big is that? And obviously a huge pass late in the game to Dante Thornton Jr., the rookie, for 36 yards. That basically helped salt the game away. I mean, just to have the big stones to be able to throw that ball the way that he did. I mean, obviously he got started on that first drive with that big pass to Trey Tucker in the end zone. Great pass and catch by Trey. But, I mean, Geno Smith, he was on point. As I mentioned in segment number 1, there's sometimes that he's going to throw the ball and you're going to hold your breath and say, I hope that one doesn't get picked because, I mean, again, he trusts his arm. He believes in him, sometimes to a fault. But
you know what? Hey, Q is right, man. There was that play where he kind of threads the needle to Jacoby Myers. I think it was early in the game where I held my breath. I was like, oh, I thought it was maybe picked off. Then he found Jacoby Myers. He takes off for a chunk play right there. He's definitely right. Geno Smith is very confident with his arm, and he's going to take those risks, but he's going to do it calculated, right? And, man, he was rolling on all cylinders on Sunday, man. Let's keep it rolling.
That's what the greats do. And I'd rather him be overconfident and feel like that he can get that ball in there and that, no play is dead as opposed to not being willing to let it rip, right? So he's definitely able to let it rip. It was really good to see a Raiders offense led by a quarterback who felt really good about himself and knew that he could make all the throws. He definitely could make all the throws and then some. Now, he took 4 sacks, right? And that's going to be a problem. He was second in the league last year, only behind Caleb Williams as far as taking sacks.
Pause. Caleb Williams, the sack master, is nasty work anyway. But, the offensive line has to really clean this up, right? 4 sacks is not the worst thing in the world, but, it's where they came from. It was from the same, the three interior linemen that we do have, and we're going to go over PFF grades to kind of support that. We need to clean that up. We need to clean up the run game, or else that's going to be a big hindrance on our success this season. Let's keep it rolling.
He had 50 and Caleb Williams had 68. So the offensive line's got to do a better job. I thought Geno was getting the ball out pretty quickly. He used his legs a little bit, picked up 11 yards on the ground. So he did do that, but you don't want to see him on his back as much as he was. But for the most part, man, Geno played a really great game, and I'm excited about him continuing to evolve in this Chip Kelly-led offense. Now,
there you go. That was your boy Q right there, man. Hopefully these 3 don't mind that I shared their videos, man. But what do you guys think, man? It's pretty evident that people are watching. Even Max Crosby said in his podcast he's just happy to have Geno Smith in the building. Probably the best quarterback that he's had during his time with the Raiders. Yes, I said probably the best, right? Even 2021, 2020 Derek Carr, I think he might exceed that, might even break that single season record for yards in a season, which is like over 4,800 yards that Derek Carr got. Could break it if we keep protection and we can get a run game going. But let me know what you guys think, man. Shout out to Tokyo Raider. Adjustments in the Chargers game are going to be up and down. Pete and Harbaugh know each other very well. Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a chess match for sure, man. And it's a divisional match. Throw the records out the window. All the cliches that you would say between the Raiders and Chargers. It doesn't matter what the record is. Throw the records out the window. You're going to see a fight for sure, man. Let's see. The Patriot defensive line is a lot better than the Chargers defensive line. Yeah, I think that it's a step up, right? But they do got some guys over there. They got some youngsters. Tuli Pulotu. He kind of plays a little bit of the 3 technique and the 5. He kind of moves around a lot. Jamari Caldwell, rookie out of Oregon. He's over there in the interior. So there's some guys that can really get the job done. Can't sleep on that front 4 that the Chargers do have. And you got the old grizzled vet with Khalil Mack. So they can get things done as well, right? So we're going to have to bring our A game. Shout out to Dan Tessier. Genty's got to have a better game this week. Yeah. And it all starts with the offensive line, man. The offensive line has to bring their lunch pails and getting ready to be physical and smart too. Not just physical, but smart. Let's see. Geno doesn't have a noodle arm, and that's one thing that we've been lacking for quite a while, right? A quarterback that doesn't that has that strong arm, right? We finally got it, and I'm excited. I'm definitely excited, man. We got DeMarcus Webb. He says Geno reminded me of 2021 DC when he threw for 350 plus 3 straight games. Masterclass on deep passes from Geno. Once him and Dante get clicking, it's curtains. Absolutely, man. I got a visual to kind of support what you're talking about, man. It's pretty amazing what he did on Sunday, and it has to be highlighted. I mean, I know that was on Sunday, but we got to highlight what Geno Smith did on Sunday, man. A phenomenal game from Geno. Let me see. Henley's a great young running back. Perryman is out, though. Yeah. And this is it's no coincidence. It's no fluke that Henley is the defensive captain for the team right now. He's a great young linebacker that can get the job done. They got some dogs on that defense, and we got to really take him seriously. Derwin James is going to have his say as well. So we got us a fight with this as well, man. So maybe not in comparison to that front seven of the Patriots. But they can hold their own for sure, man. Let's see who else we got. We got Nada in the building. Salute to you, man. We got Wasted in the building, man. Salute, bro. Good to see you here, man. Let's see who else we got here, man. We got Lecky T. Yeah, Thule and Mac we should worry about, but I hope our O-line can contain them. Yeah, we can. A little bit worried about DJ Glaze a little bit. Didn't have a great game. Colton Miller looked phenomenal. Not really too worried about Colton Miller on that left side, but that right side is making me a little worried. The whole offensive line as a whole, we'll go into the PFF grades, didn't look great, and we're going to talk about it, man. Let's see. Man, yeah, Wasted is in the building, man. Let me see. We got 3 clicks in the truth. And keep Geno upright. Went down 4 times. Yeah, we got to fix that. We got to fix that. Let me see. Do not mention DC and Geno in the same sentence. I hope Geno is much better. Hey, Wasted. Hey, Geno, I'm going to say it. I say he's much better than DC. He is much better than DC. Stronger arm, a better improviser. He's not you remember with DC, he was very mechanical in his reads and stuff like that. He wouldn't improvise. He's going to go with the first 2 reads and kind of follow the recipe of what the coordinator wants him to do. Geno Smith does follow the directions of what the offense is, how it's supposed to be ran and dictated. But you saw that play. And then there's many other plays, but the one that sticks out, he rolls to the left, throws it to the opposite side of the field to Michael Mayer. It shows right there that he's willing to improvise to be a playmaker. And that's one thing we didn't have from DC right there. And there's going to be a lot of people that aren't happy with that, right? I don't care. I think Geno Smith right now Geno Smith right now is a better quarterback than we've had from DC in any of the years that he was here. Maybe even that 2016 season, right? Now, wins are going to really put more value on that when it's down the line. And, maybe we'll talk differently if they're not winning. But as far as ability goes, he's much better than DC ever was. So that's all I'm saying, man. That's all I'm saying. A lot of people might disagree with you, man, or me. Let me see. We got Lecky T. No disrespect to Carr, but padding stats hasn't gotten us far. Yeah. I hope Geno can get us to wild card spot and win one. I think he can. If the defense can play like how they played, right? I'm not expecting shutouts every second half, right? But, if you can make plays and that defensive line can get after it, be aggressive with sending them blitzes and things like that, opportunity, a good pass rush, which leading to errant throws, leading to interceptions, is a good recipe for us. A good recipe for us winning down the line for sure, man. Let me see. Trey Tucker's going to have a monster year. Trey Tucker looks phenomenal, right? Trey Tucker, and I'm gonna show you guys the play that I'm talking about. Hopefully, I don't get hit with a copyright. I don't care. We're gonna show it, man. I just want to kind of show you guys what I saw, the good and the bad from one particular play. Hopefully, man, NFL isn't playing games. Sometimes they let me show it. Most of the times they do, but last time when I was doing a film breakdown, I got hit on it, man. So we'll see. I'm gonna show it anyway, though. I'm gonna show it anyway, man. I'm gonna do it for you guys. 3 clicks in the truth. Ain't it past Wasted's bedtime? Hey, it's past my bedtime if you want to ask me. Let me see. He said actually in the bed, man. Hey, I don't blame you, bro. Let me see. Joseph C, isn't it past your? Everybody's asking Wasted, is it past his bedtime? Let me see. Wasted says he places the ball better and he's tougher. Yeah, and that's one thing we haven't had from a quarterback in a long time. A tough dude. We haven't had a tough quarterback, and if they were tough, they just sucked at being a quarterback, right? I like to think that Gardner Minshew was, he had some grit about him, right? But he sucked. So now we got to look kind of the best of both worlds, and I think it's going to pay us in full for sure, man. Let me see. We got Michael Taylor says Chargers DBs are their strength. I think it's a good second game that will tell us a lot. This one's going to say a lot about what we're going to do this season, right? Now, if we lose the game, which I don't think we're going to lose, I got us going 2-0. I got us winning this game. But, as long as we stay in the game and showing that we're competing, a lot of people are saying they don't want to see the Raiders on the schedule, right? This team is gritty. A lot of people are seeing that, hey, they got some things going on over there. But the way they look in this game is going to matter at the end of the day. A win will be excellent. Shout out to Funky Hair, man. I'm in the building, man. Hey, salute to you, man. I still got to send you that card, man. Kind of lagging on my end. There's been a lot going on my end, but I got it wrapped up. Got the address. I'm about to send it to you, and Low Life Rev as well. So Low Life Rev, if you're out there listening, man, card's coming soon. I'm about to send that thing out. So shout out to you guys, man. Definitely gonna keep my word on that one. So let me see. DeMarcus Webb, Wasted. All I said was it was reminiscent of Carr's 3-game run. Sheesh. I mean, we'll see, man. I mean, it was one game. Now, if he does it 2 more, then maybe got something, right? Let me see. Nasty work. We went to crying on podium to Minshew digging for gold to tickle me Wilkins. Yeah. We haven't had some. Yeah, we've been lacking in the holding that Raiders mentality down department. Yeah, we got to fix that. We definitely got to fix that. Carr took a hell of a beat and Wasted and fared well. Yeah, he did. I'm not saying nothing against DC, man. DC, he did his thing, but I think Geno Smith is a much better quarterback. Let me see. We got to work on the O-line, but to do, but we're going to cook against the Bolts, man. Yeah, absolutely, man. Let me see. I'm gonna read a couple more comments, and then we're gonna get into some of the PFF grades, and we're gonna talk about it, man. We're definitely gonna talk about it. Joseph C, a member of the Big Mike Raider fleet. I got scared when Geno Smith started limping after that run for first down. Yeah, kind of was limping a little bit, a little tender hammy, but I think he'll be all right. Let's limit some of the runs though, because hamstrings kind of linger if not treated, and you're out there and going out there trying to run a little bit too early. So let's limit some of the runs, man. Just be somewhat of a statue, and if you have to run, go ahead and take off, but let's not do it too much. Let's see. 3 clicks in the truth in the building, man. Let's see. Tokyo Raider, doesn't matter how much better Geno is than DC until we win in the playoffs consistently. It means nothing. Yeah. And I'm not going to jump out of the window and be like, Geno Smith is, the best quarterback of all time and things like that. But I'm saying just eyeball test. I've been watching the Raiders for years. I've been watching, from as far back as, the Jeff Hostetler days, right? I was a kid during that time, but, looking at what we have ability-wise from Geno Smith this is the best quarterback we've had in a very long time, right? It remains to be seen if he's going to be on that, Rich Gannon level, right? I'm not saying that he's going to win MVP or take us to a Super Bowl or nothing like that. I'm talking about ability alone. But once again, to your point, doesn't mean anything if we're not winning. So that's all I'm saying, man. Ronald Foster says compete. Absolutely, man. You see, Low Life Rev, he says, I'm here also, man. Yeah, I got you, man. I got you. I didn't forget you. It's coming. I promise. Let me see. Pause if necessary too on that one. John B. Absolutely love the way Geno leads and speaks in his pressers. Yeah, very, very confident, right? Something that we haven't seen in a very long time. Lecky T, I'd rather Lockie Tossie playing over DJ Glaze, who's slacking on the right side. I don't want Lockie Tossie playing right tackle. I'll tell you that. No. Guard, that's a different thing in maybe a couple of years or a few years. But yeah, definitely not right tackle, not yet, man, or not ever. He says Raiders, Geno man, and knows how to spread the ball around the yard, get that run game going. Raiders going to be dangerous, man. Let me see. I'm going to put a pin in some of the comments, man. And then let's talk about some of the PFF grades, man. So PFF, right? Raiders are 1-0, 120-13. Overall ranking is 12th right now. Their offense is ranked 8th, top 10 offense, even with a bad running game going, bad offensive line play. Defense is 15th, right? Excellent second half. And, special teams is 23rd. Don't really know what to make of that one. But let's talk about some of the notable PFF grades that I'm looking at. Geno Smith, 83.8 PFF grade overall, which ranks 7th out of all quarterbacks in the league right now. Phenomenal game from Trey Tucker, ranks 40th out of 105 wide receivers with a 64.2 PFF grade. Jacoby Myers, 12th out of 105th right there, 74.7 PFF overall grade. Ashton Genty didn't look so great, 51 overall PFF grade. We'll fix that. Not worried about it. Some rookie bumps and bruises. But one thing that really sticks out to me is the tight ends, right? I think we got 2 number ones, guys. Pete Carroll said it himself. Michael Mayer, 5th out of 66 tight ends, 83.1 PFF grade. Excellent game from Michael Mayer, including run blocking and just doing his job, right? Excellent PFF grade. And then right behind him, 6th out of 66 tight ends is Brock Bowers with a 77.1 overall PFF grade. Ian Thomas, 48th out of 66. Didn't really stick out too much, but when your third tight end is kind of middle of the pack as far as PFF grades, you're doing something special, right? But for the good, there's the bad. We got to talk about the bad, right? And this is kind of what I was talking about. This is why it's on the thumbnail. We got to fix the offensive line. They need to fix it now. If we don't fix it, this team is going to struggle against the Chargers and for the rest of the season. Let's get into some PFF grades. Jordan Meredith, 17th out of 32 centers, 63.1 PFF grade, 43.5 pass blocking grade. Not good. 68.4 run blocking grade. We got to fix that. Jordan Meredith was missing a lot of assignments on that pass blocking situation, which led to 4 sacks. I think he gave up 2 of them, 2 of the 4. And then Jackson Powers Johnson. Now, a lot of people were really getting on me being controversial and being critical of JPJ and his play on Sunday. Well, PFF agrees with me as well. 44.1 PFF grade overall, 59th out of 65 guards in this season so far. It's only one game, but 44.1 PFF grade. That's a failing grade to me. We're expecting more out of JPJ at the guard position. 58.3 run blocking grade, not great. And then a 58.3 pass blocking grade and a run block grade of 54.8. That is unacceptable. That's not getting the job done. We gotta make this happen, man. We gotta change that. We gotta fix it. Dylan Parham doesn't get a pass either. 53rd out of 65 guards in the league. He ranks. He got a 50.5 PFF grade. Not great. 43.2 pass blocking grade. This interior offensive line looked absolutely horrible. There's no better way to put it. They need to fix it if they're trying to win games down the line. 61.1 run blocking grade. And then DJ Glaze, 58 out of 65 tackles in the league. 48.2 PFF grade. Horrible. 49.8 pass blocking grade. 53.4 run blocking grade. It needs to be fixed. It needs to be fixed, or else this season is going to be a waste, right? We got so many weapons. I showed you the PFF grades from wide receiver, tight end, running back needs to be fixed, but I'm blaming the offensive line for that, right? We have so many weapons that can get the job done, but we cannot go anywhere if our front offensive line cannot get the job done. And if we have to make adjustments down the line, if this continues, then so be it. And that includes Jackson Powers Johnson. There's no secret that he was in competition with Alex Kappa in the preseason for that guard spot, and maybe there's a reason for it. I'm not saying that he needs to be benched, but if he continues playing the way he played against the Patriots, we're in for a long season, and he might need to sit down for a little bit, or maybe we need to move Jordan Meredith to the bench and put JPJ at center if that's going to work. We got to mix some things up, and we need to mix it up fast if it continues to be this way. But let me know what you guys think, man. Let me see. We got Sin Cal 805 with the $5 haymaker. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He said, send mine's Big Mike from sunny Central Coast, Cali, man. Hey, I appreciate you, Sin Cal. Man, much love to you, man. Thanks for the support with the $5 haymaker. You get another one. You get another one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me see. Money Chuck in the building. He says, Mike, I've seen some influencers bash Genty and say no matter how bad the O-line is, he should have done better. If we drafted a quarterback 6 overall and pass protection was bad, they would blame the O-line. You know, I can't speak for every influencer. I can't speak for anybody. I don't want to step on anybody's toes, but when people say stuff like that, they're not watching the film. They're not getting to the intricacies of football. They're just looking at one guy and they're looking at stats, 2 yards a pop, without really looking at the context, right? They were trying to ice the game with 4 minutes left and in obvious running situations. So they're going to crowd the box. They're already trying to stop the run in that situation, right? And you know, even with that, maybe that gives the offensive line a little bit of an excuse, but I hold the offensive line to a stronger standard than that. You know, you stir the drink with the offensive line, particularly in the run game, right? So they're going to be held to a higher standard. Ashton Genty didn't play well, didn't get the desired stats because this offensive line didn't play well. You can't run this. This isn't Madden, or this isn't college football 25, 26. And you can, you know, dance around and avoid tackles and things like that. This is real life football, right? So whoever's saying that, they're not really doing their due diligence. I'm not trying to bash anybody, but Ashton Genty is going to be all right. This dude is an excellent running back, right? And you know, if we never see that offensive line playing well, you're not going to see Ashton Genty playing well, and it is not his fault. It is not his fault, and we need to fix that, right? He says, why the double standard? I don't know, man. You know, everybody puts all this emphasis on the skill players, right? You're supposed to do it no matter what, and nobody really pays attention to the offensive line, right? Only time they pay attention to the defensive line is in pass rushing situations, right? Nobody really gives love to the D tackles just because they get 2-3 tackles a game, but they're not seeing that they're taking on double teams, filling gaps, and then they look at the linebacker. Oh, he had 13 tackles, right? Yeah, but how did he get those 13 tackles, right? These are people with a low football IQ, and you know that really bothers me with today's football fan is that there's a lot of casual fans in the NFL, in football in general, right? You know, when you start including, you know, people that never watch the game, you start including fantasy football players, gamblers, and things like that. They're only looking at stats. They're not looking at the film and things like that. And it really takes away from the actual chess match of the game, right? The trenches have to play well in order for everybody to succeed. Quarterbacks have to succeed with the success of the trenches, right? And that's where the double standard comes from. People not really watching the full game. When I watch a football game, the first thing I'm looking at is the front offensive and defensive line. That tells me what the pace of the game is going to be. And people don't watch football that way. They look at the quarterback and they follow the ball. Yeah, that's cool to do it sometimes, but I'm watching what the offense and defensive line is doing, right? And a lot of people don't do that because a lot of people are casual football fans. So that's why you get what you got, man. I'm gonna get off my soapbox though. Let me see. Let me keep it rolling. We got Lecky T in the building. Defense, secondary, they play good, but they need to see more. They need to see more next couple of games. Yeah, they do. Caillou Blue Kelly looked excellent, right? Speaking of him, he had a 65.2 PFF grade. Was definitely battle tested. 67.6 coverage grade. 40th out of 96. Not too bad for a first game starting. Much love to him. Much respect to him. He was targeted so many times in that game. It was ridiculous, right? Almost forgot that there was other corners on the field. So Caillou Blue Kelly did well for sure. But the secondary, they're going to the offense for other teams are definitely going to be picking on the secondary, especially with Darnay Holmes with a 35.2 PFF grade, 92 out of 96 corners, and Eric Stokes with a 48.3 PFF grade. They're definitely going to be picking on our DBs for sure. Let me see. We got Gaucho in the building. 100% Mike O-line needs to be better. Yeah, we definitely need to see that, man. We got Eric Parker. He says everybody says the same shit about the O-line. Yeah. Hey, it starts with the O-line, man. It starts with the O-line. Gotham City Raider in the building. He said he had that dumb penalty. Pete looked heated. Yeah, JPJ needs to fix that. That needs to be fixed. And he's not allergic. He's not allergic to that bench. If he can't fix the dumb penalties and he can't fix, pass protection and doing your job and doing your role without trying to do too much or trying to make the big hit down the, down the field and things like that he likes to do. If you're doing it without being smart, it means nothing. So, he's not allergic to that bench, man. He's not allergic. These JPJ apologetics are wild. Cry until he gets moved to center is so Pop Warner. Yeah, that's true, man. He shouldn't be getting a participation trophy for sure, man. Assess, and if he's not doing good at the guard position, give him a try at center. I will say that. But if he sucks at center too, hey, you're going to have to sit, man. We're trying to win. We're trying to win football games. This is not about what your status is. This is not about what people think of you. I think that I thought that he was going to be a top center in this league. And maybe he does down the line, but if he's not playing well, Pete Carroll doesn't care what your status is. You're going to sit on that bench if you can't play football. Shout out to Funky Hair Man, $10 haymaker, baby. You know it, man. You know it. He says, I ain't worried about Genty. He slipped that one time, and that would have been his breakout play. He's going to cook against the Hardballs and the Herberts. Yeah, man. No doubt, man. Shout out to Funky Hair Man with the $10 bomb, man. I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you. Yeah, he's going to be all right. He's going to be all right. Genty's going to be all right. But once again, man, this offensive line is got to get it done, man. Gaucho says, Mike on fire, man. Hey, I do my best, man. I appreciate you. Hey, and if you like what I'm saying, man, 109 in the building, man, hit the like button, man, and share with your folks. Let's hit that sub, man. Let's get to 6K. Let's see. Let me see. And shout out once again to Funky Hair Man with the $10 bomb. Bama Comey, it's one to watch. It's another thing to study it. Yeah. And people don't. People don't. So sometimes I get a little bit frustrated trying to talk football with people because they want to talk basic shit. And I'm like, I don't want to talk basic shit. I want to talk about what you've seen. I want to talk about coverage. I want to talk about pass pro. I want to talk about, who's taking gap responsibility. That's what I want to talk about. But you want to talk about stats. I don't want to talk about stats, right? Because what that tells me, certain stats with a running back as good as Ashton Genty, is that the offensive line isn't playing well. And PFF says it. My eyeballs say it. All you guys' eyeballs say it. People who watch football say it, right? The guys who are really into the film, like Sanjit and all these people like who watch film, they say it and they saw it, right? And they didn't play well. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it, right? And I'm not going to be an apologist for somebody who really has done very little in this league in JPJ, right? I hope that he can fix this, right? I hope he does. But with grades like that, with this entire O-line, even Dylan Parham, he looked horrible, right? With those kind of grades, we're not going anywhere, and we got to fix it. If we're going to try to compete in this league, we got to fix it. Gaucho, 2 cents. You wouldn't happen to be here to hear this, would you? Wait, I don't know what you're talking about, man. Hey, I'm here, man. I'm here. I can't be nowhere else but here, man. Let me see. You might be talking to somebody else. Let me see. Nathaniel Frank, thank you, bro, for saying that about Genty, bro. You're right. It's not his fault. It's not. It's not like a situation where he's missing open lanes and things like that. No, he's running into brick walls. He couldn't really get things going. Early on, he did, but as the game progressed, he couldn't get things rolling. And that's not his fault. That's not his fault. I refuse to say that. Hey, shout out to Keno, man. Keno in the building, man. I appreciate you. Lecky T, other fans got their eyes on Genty and Bowers, but forget about the other weapons we have. And watching stats doesn't tell you everything. Yeah, there's always context to stats. That's why I don't want to talk stats, right? A lot of people, want to talk about the 30 whatever number of comebacks Derek Carr had in his career, right? I'm like, well, wouldn't have to have all those comebacks if he would have just played well at the beginning of the game. People want to talk about that, or the number of yards somebody had, or how many touchdowns Patrick Mahomes threw, right? Here's the truth about Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes throws a bunch of 1, 2, 3 yard touchdowns, right? He's not going vertical anymore like people think he is. I don't think he's a top quarterback in this league. If I had to take a top quarterback in this league, I'm going with a guy like Joe Burrow, even though he didn't look great week 1. I'm going with a guy like Joe Burrow. I would go with Josh Allen before I go with Patrick Mahomes, right? And I know that might sound crazy, but it's the ability that I'm looking at. It's what you're doing when you're on the field, right? People want to look at the number of points that somebody's getting in fantasy football and things like that. And, if you got a cool haircut or, you're on a commercial or something like that, that's part of the reason why, people don't really give enough love to Jacoby Myers, because he's unassuming. He's a guy that pretty much just puts his head down and gets the job done, right? But I think he plays on a weekly basis as a number 1 receiver in this league, right? And they don't get the love because, well, he isn't a Jamar Chase. He isn't a Justin Jefferson that is doing this and all this stuff and doing stupid dances, right? That's part of the whole, that's part of the package of being a wide receiver 1. You're not being a malcontent like a Devontae Adams, like a Tyreek Hill, name your number 1 receiver throughout the league. At some point, they're going to be a malcontent, right? But what is Jacoby Myers doing? He wants to get paid, and he's still going out there throwing blocks. He's playing A+ football, even though he's not getting the contract he wants, right? And because he's not that malcontent star wide receiver, he doesn't get the consideration to be a number 1 receiver. And that kind of stuff bothers me, man. There's a lot of things that bother me about how people watch this game and how they consider, what is success in this league, man. It really does bother me, man. I'm going to give offensive line a pass, bad weather, but if they perform like that again at home against the Chargers, and then we have a problem. Yeah, I'm not completely I agree with you. I'm not completely jumping out of the window for this, but I'm just saying we got to clean this up because I think we have a chance. We have a chance to really compete, right? The Chiefs are on a decline. The Chargers, we'll see where we stand with the Chargers. The Broncos didn't look good against the Titans, so I really think we got a chance. But our chance will get stifled if this offensive line doesn't fix it. So that's kind of where I'm standing with that one, man. Let me see. We got Big John in the building. Communication is key when defense does stunts and blitzing. Yeah, and a lot of the stunts that the Patriots were doing, they were getting bit on a lot of those stunts. So you're right. Absolutely. Communication has to happen. Knowing where everybody is supposed to be protection-wise and things like that, it needs to get fixed. And we're going to go over a play that kind of solidifies, crystallizes that point that I just said, man. We're going to talk about it. We're going to look at it, man. Let me see. Gotham City Raider, he had the dumb penalty. Pete Lakiti. Oh, yeah, we already read that one, man. Let me see. Let me scroll down a little bit, man. Let me see, man. Let me see. You know what Big Mike bring back Alex High Stakes Leatherwood, and we balling, man. Yes, let's bring back my guy, Alex Leatherwood. Oh, yeah, you see it, that Alex Leatherwood rookie right there, man. My prized possession right here. Bring him back. Funky hair, man. Preach, brother, man. Hey, I just tell it like it is, man. I just tell it like it is. Kenny Fry, he says, I think once they get communication down, they will be much better, especially in the middle. Yeah, I think so too. It's going to take some time. They got to fix it, though. You know, until they fix it, this is where I stand with it for sure. I'm not saying they won't, but they need to do it now for sure. Speaking of knowledge factor, I don't think there was halftime adjustments on D. Yes, but Pete simply returned the opening drive script early third quarter. Max said this on the rush today. And you know what? You know, they were successful for the most part on offense. But I feel like they left a lot of points on the board, right? So maybe they saw something with that defense. They were like, all right, let's just stick with what we got. It's there. Let's stick with it. But hopefully we don't see that as the season goes along, because if they're not making adjustments, because there's going to be teams that are going to figure out what we're doing, and we got to make adjustments. So hopefully that is not a trend down the line, but I will give it to you. We did leave some points on the board. Let me see. Gotham City Raider, I'm impressed with Genty's pass blocking. Me too. You want to know something funny? I don't agree with everything PFF says, and I definitely don't agree with this one. Where is it? Ashton Genty. He had a 27.7 pass blocking grade. I don't think that's pretty accurate. I thought he looked pretty good in picking up pass protection. I don't know where they got that from. I don't know what they're looking at, but hey, I don't know. When Geno's cooking like that, Genty becomes secondary, and that's okay. Pass will open up the run all year. Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's hope so, man. They gotta get better though. They gotta get better. Gaucho was responding to my 2 cents, Mike. I didn't who I don't think is here needs to hear your JPJ take. Yeah, he was definitely. I think he is here, man. But that's where I stand with that one, man. And I'm kind of hoping he is here so we can get to debate, man. That was a good talk we had last time, man. I'm all for the debate as long as it's not, getting disrespectful and stuff, man. We can talk it out, man. I'm all for it. Shout out to Felix Savea in the building. Talking head Chris Sims says Ashton Genty is not explosive. Yeah, he lost his damn mind. Simple as that. Fuck you mean Raiders, says Genty's having the play same problem as Zamir. Bad offensive line. Didn't think we needed a running back fix. We needed a running back to fix that line. Yeah, it's not. You can have Barry Sanders back there, and I mean he might be a little bit more successful, but he's not going to be too much more successful with a bad offensive line, man. A good offensive line gets the job done. Let me see. Bama Comey, the refs have bailed out Patrick more times than I can count. Yeah, that's a fact. That's an absolute fact. Gaucho 2 cents was ripping me on JT's chat yesterday because he's crying over JPJ not being moved. That might not solve the problem. Maybe it will, but maybe it won't, right? I like to think that there's a reason why he's not at center right now. That's where I'm going to stand with that one. And maybe he proves these coaches wrong. I don't know. But I think they know what they're doing, and they know how to assess the situation, and there's a reason why he's not at center right now. I really believe that. Let me see. Brady said he doesn't like Shador because it's all about himself, yet Jacoby's exactly what Tom does want as far as a character, and he still hasn't paid Jacoby. Pay the man. This guy puts his head down and he gets the job done every time. That's I don't know, man. I don't know. JPJ will figure it out this week. It's week 1. Okay. This isn't directed at you, Mike, but a lot of creators are critical and flip-flop for clicks and likes. Yeah. You can't have a bad game practice anymore, and it's live on TV, man. Hey, if you disagree, bro, it's all good. I'm cool with disagreement. And, I will say that there are people who like to, take the popular side. You're not going to get the popular side from me, right? But I'm going to stay optimistic about things, right? I'm not going to say it's doom and gloom. I think he can fix it. I want him to succeed, but right now he doesn't look great. And that's just the assessment of the whole thing. I'm not going to lie about it just to get clicks and likes. Either you like what I'm saying or you don't. You can watch or you don't want to watch. It's all good to me either way. That's kind of where I stand with it. And hopefully you guys respect that from me, man. And hopefully you respect that from all of us. My ShieldMore brothers do the same thing. So, there's that. I'm gonna get off my soapbox about that one though. Let me see. Money Chuck, he says, Big Mike, on rare occasion, I disagree with you. When I do, I've never thought you were less than fair or well informed. Thanks for exercising my mind, chopping it up. Nah, man, it wasn't targeted towards you, bro. It wasn't. And hey, like I said, bro, we can disagree. As long as we're talking civilly, we go back and forth, man. That's what it's about, man. At the end of the day, I've always said, I've said this a million times on this show. We all want this team to be successful, right? And everybody has their own philosophy on how to get there, but the same goal, everybody has the same goal at the end of the day. We want to see our team win some games, right? You have a different philosophy than I do. The next person might have a different philosophy than you, right? Some people might have some way out crazy philosophy on how to get this thing done. But at the end of the day, we want to see this team win, right? And really, that's what it matters, man. And we can talk about it. And at the end of the day, shake hands or, much love to you, Mike, this and that, and go about our way, man. It's all good, bro. Money Chuck in the building, my guy, man. It's all good, bro. It's all good. It wasn't targeted towards you at all. Let me see. Gaucho, after second drive, Geno interception, Pete purposely lulled Vrabel to sleep. Ben don't break defense, kept it close to the half, then Pete return opening drive script in the third quarter, took Vrabel to school. So you're saying that Pete Carroll was doing like kind of a rope-a-dope situation. That's a good way to look at it. That's an odd way to go about a football game. I think the Raiders, if they would have been playing better offense the whole game, could have blew them out. Could absolutely blew out the Patriots, right? A better game, the Patriots would have got smoked for sure at home. They would have got smoked at home. Bama Comey says if Geno keeps slinging, teams will have to respect him, and then running game will get going. Yeah, that's a good point too. Man. You're definitely right. Gaucho says pay Jacoby top receiver money, top receiver money, no more. Hey, I'm with it, man. To me, I think 22 million a year will probably get the job done, right? I'm not saying give him 30, nothing crazy like that, right? He's not a top 10 receiver in this league, but he is a number one in this league, and you got to treat him as such, right? He shouldn't get as much as Terry McLaurin. I'm not saying that, but he does need to be paid handsomely, man. Hopefully they find a middle ground on that, whatever he's asking for and whatever the Raiders are trying to do. Let me see. Willie D wants a reunion, bro. Willie D wants a reunion. Oh, you talking about Alex Leatherwood, man? I don't know what you're talking about, bro. Geno will score 4 touchdowns on 4 passes next week. His first quarter stat line will be 4 for 4, 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. Hey, that would be excellent, man. DeMarcus Webb, I don't disagree with you, Mike. I was just saying some people always focus on the negative only for financial gain. ShieldMore always keeps it 100. Yeah, you know it, man. You know it. Hey, and it's all good, bro. You know how we do it over here, bro. You've been here since day one. So it's all love, bro. It's all love. Let me see. Rope-a-dope, exactly. Yeah, man. Maybe. That's an odd way to do it. Let me see. I'm done pretending like JPJ's a stud and Pete we trust. Yeah, we gotta take that title off of JPJ until proven otherwise, right? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that he's gonna suck or he's a bust or anything like that. That's stupid. That's stupid for me to say that. But he has some maturing to do. He has some polishing to do. And there's nothing wrong with saying that, right? And maybe a center move will be the better move, but we don't know that. What we do know is that we have some good assessors. We got some good coaches that kind of know what they're doing out there. So if you're at the guard position, there's a reason why you're there and not at the center position. It's not a consolation prize. You're just using what to your strengths, what this person can do as opposed to, being somewhere else. Maybe he's a better guard than he's a center at this point of his career. And I've always said that since day one. Let me see. Gaucho says, save the blowouts for later in the year. Okay. He says, wide receiver 2 top money. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I hear you. I mean, shoot. Not top receiver money. Yeah. Okay. I feel you. Yeah. I mean, that's now you're going into the realm of Higgins. was it the other receiver with the Bengals. He needs to get paid a little bit less than that, right? That's kind of where I'm at with that one. Let me see. Jacoby can only get us so far. Great hands, but get shut down easy by good corners. Yeah. That's true. That's true. But we don't put him in a situation where he's trying to go 50-50 with somebody either. He's not that type of receiver. You got to use him properly too. And I think the Raiders are doing that right now. They've been doing it for the last couple of years already. So Bama Comey, all Raider fans go back and forth. It happens when you have passion. Yeah, man. Shoot, we all want to win, man. It's been too long. Indigenous massage in the building. I know I'm late, but I think Brady is trying to decide whether or not to make Jacoby the highest paid number 2 first wide receiver. Yeah, we'll see, man. Stay tuned for that one. So I want to show one play. I'm kind of scared to do it because I don't want to get copyright striked. That would suck. Let me see. Accelerator says Jacoby Myers a little like Marcus Colston. Okay. I gotta see the comps on that one, man. I gotta see the comps. I gotta because Marcus Colston, I remember him, but I don't really know. It's been a while since I've seen him. Let me see. Godwin is getting $22 million a year. Jacoby better than Godwin. Okay. And my guy George is in the building, man. I've been waiting for my guy George, man. He says Raiders, man. Been waiting for my guy George. He says 17 and no, we're on our way. 1 down, 16 to go, baby. Let me see. Dang, I want to show this to you guys, but I'm a little worried about getting striked. What you guys think, man? Should I show one play from the all 22? You guys want to see it? Let me know, man. I don't want to get striked, but I really want to show you this. Kind of want to make my point, kind of solidify what we're talking about. But you know what? Let me know. I'll show it. I don't want to get copyright strike on this one. Sean Starr says, what up, nation? Just popping in, hoping the chat is on the positive. Yeah, it's all good over here, man. Let's go, nation. Just one, baby. Yes, sir. Let me see. Accelerator says Colston had awesome hands and was good for yards after catch, but wasn't exactly TO. Best way to describe him. Yeah, that's I like that assessment, man. Now that you mentioned it, yeah, that's a good point. Let me see. VBZLA says don't risk it. Pillaging just for fun. Yeah, don't chance it, Big Mike. All right. I just saw something that really stuck out to me on one of the sacks right there. I'll just explain it to you the best way I can, right? So it was at the beginning of the game. I think it was in the early first quarter. We're on our second drive. We take our first sack of the game. They do that a stunt. They send 2 on a blitz, and it's pretty much man coverage. You have a single high safety, and if the protection was just a little bit better, Trey Tucker had his guy beat in man-to-man coverage, and it looked like Geno Smith was looking for him, right? And I don't know if you guys remember. If you guys have the all 22, look at the 9:47 mark. You'll see exactly what I'm talking about. Just go ahead and check it out if you guys have the resources to do so. He's looking for Trey Tucker vertically for about 80-yard touchdown right here. He had the guy beat down the sideline, and if we had just a little bit of coverage, a little bit of protection, Trey Tucker would have had an absolute huge game, right? So I say that to say this. Trey Tucker is going to be a problem this season. He's going to be an absolute problem. He got a touchdown in this game, got 2 pretty big chunk catches, and could have had a bigger game. And I think that Trey Tucker at some point is going to break for 100 yards plus. Let me know what you guys think about that one. If you guys want to check out that play, it's at the 9:47 mark on the all 22. If you guys have access to that, man, I want to show you that. I might put it up on IG. By the way, if you guys want to follow me on IG, it's at Big Mike Raider. Got about 947 followers there. Let's get to 1K there. That'd be pretty dope. So if you guys haven't followed me on IG, it's at Big Mike Raider. So go ahead and follow me on IG, man. I never really push the socials over here, but go ahead and follow me on IG and X as well. At Big Mike Raider, man. Let me see. Let me see. Felix Savea says, Big Mike, don't do it. Yeah, I'm not going to do it, man. I'm not going to do it. Love Jacoby, but in 2 years, Besh is going to be at the level in 2 seasons. Yeah, Besh looked good too in limited play. He didn't look bad. We have to figure out how to make that work and pay Jacoby in a way that makes sense. Yeah, it does have to make sense, right? I'm not saying, blow the bank on Jacoby Myers, but you're right. It does have to make sense. I just really like his game, man. He really just puts his head down. He kind of reminds me of a Hines Ward with more ability, right? Just the willingness to do the dirty work, but still get rewarded with catching some balls and things like that. Kind of reminds me of that Hines Ward type that we saw with the Pittsburgh Steelers years ago when they won Super Bowls. So that's kind of what he reminds me of. That's all I'm saying. Let me see. Accelerator, what's your favorite song off your Something Serious album, Big Mike? World of Mine or Having Things? Having Things, bro. Shout out to Accelerator, man. Shout out to Accelerator. Let me see. I know exactly what play you're talking about because I saw what Trey was going to have another touchdown. He was wide open, bro. He was wide open. He had a couple steps on the dude, right? If we would have had protection, Trey Tucker was going for about 80 plus. I looked at that earlier this morning and I just almost jumped out of my seat. I was like, that was tough to watch, man. And that's why I say the Raiders, if they just had a little bit better protection, would have smoked the Patriots. Smoked them, absolutely smoked them. Funky hair, man, you don't know what Besh will be in 2 years. He might be that. Jacoby is what he is already. That's a good way to look at it, too. That's a good way to look at it. There's got to be some development for Jack Besh right now. It's no secret to that. I mean, second-round pick, he's on the bottom of the depth chart, but a guy like Dante Thornton's at the top, and he was picked in the 4th round. So, hey, there's no secret with that one. KFC is last in the AFC. Yes, sir. Milo Hunt with the haymaker, man. Absolutely. Hopefully that lasts, though. Hopefully that lasts. Let me see. Jokes aside, Something Serious is a great album and massively underrated, man. I'm going to have to go back to that. We're going to have to rewind back to that one, man. Let me see. Shout out to Accelerator. Let me see. Terry Lovett, he says, Patriots was stacking the line to stop the run. Yeah, that is, and I got to keep that in consideration. I'm not going to be overly critical because the Patriots pretty much sold out to stop the run so much that they gave up 360 plus yards passing to Geno Smith, right? I got to keep that in consideration, but you're kind of hoping for better outcomes even when they're trying to run the ball and people know that they're trying to run the ball. Said this to a guy in the comments yesterday. Great teams don't take just what the defense is giving them, right? Good offenses take from defenses even when they know that that's what they're trying to do. And that's what great teams do. They take regardless of what they're trying to do, right? And that's the kind of level that I feel like we need to be at, and we're a step closer. I think we can, but we got to clean things up, right? If they're stopping a run, yeah, okay, you're going to go to a pass, right? That makes sense. At some point, to some extent, you're taking what the defense is giving you. But a great team will also not just take what the defense is giving you, take what they're not giving you. And that's what a good team does. So that's kind of the reason why I'm overly critical about what they're doing on the field. So hopefully that makes sense to you, man. Let me see. Georgia, he says Trey's going to cook this year. Yeah, I'm convinced. A 100-yard game from him coming real soon. Gaucho the Tucker, yes, he is, as long as the line gives him necessary time. Absolutely, man. Let me see. Lecky T says, just sent you a friend request on IG, bro. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Hey, go ahead and go check out that IG at Big Mike Raider and X, also at Big Mike Raider. So go ahead and show some love over there, man. VBZLA, Jacoby in the Godwin Ridley pay bracket. Right now, he's grossly underpaid. Keep Geno happy. Yeah, I'm with that, man. 8 catches, 97 yards. That's pretty good to me. You can do that every game, man. You got about 1,500 yards. So, hey, 1,500 plus. So, hey, keep it up. The O-line will be better. They were slow on communication early on. they have to learn to keep those heads on swivels. Yeah. The communication, head on a swivel, all that good stuff. I agree with you, man. I'm not jumping out the window, but it's got to be fixed. Wasted made a good point about paying Jacoby big money, because what if Dante Thornton becomes a monster, which can very well happen, but it's not yet. Maybe you give him maybe you do give him a 1-year extension, maybe 1 year to let these guys develop a little bit. I thought maybe a 2-year extension, maybe because you feel like you got a good enough receiving core down the line to where you can move on from a Jacoby Myers, but it's not now. So give him another year extension so you can keep him around for a little bit, keep the continuity with Geno Smith while these youngsters are developing, right? Now, we could meet in the middle. Instead of not giving him anything at all or giving him like a long-term deal, which doesn't seem likely, you could give him some in the middle, like a 1-year extension. I think that'll work. And then you can give him somewhat in a 1 year, $22-23 million extension on top of what he's getting paid, right? So and that may satisfy him, keep him around for 1 more year while we develop these guys, right? I'm willing to do that. And Michael Mayer and Brock Bowers is going to get paydays too down the line. And Michael Mayers is coming soon. I would like to keep both. I don't think we'll keep both. But, if that's a realistic look, then, hey, that'll be good too. Brock going to command. Brock is going to be the highest paid tight end when it's all said and done, for sure. But luckily, we don't have to worry about that for a couple years. DeMarcus Webb, Thornton, and Tucker will have Deshaun Ruggs numbers, even with the yak yards, 4 to 5 catches a game. They will be near well over 100 yards. Even Bowers had crazy yak yards too. Yeah, over like yards per catch, it was like 20 something. Yeah, I could see Trey Tucker having similar numbers to that. I can see that, man. Lecky T, Geno to Thornton Jr. going to be a fire connection. Yeah, you kind of saw that that's what was they're trying to get it cooking in the last game. Maybe we see it this game coming up. Let me see. We'll read a couple more, and I'm going to get up out of here, y'all. What did you think of the Bears game? I thought Ben Johnson called a great game. It just isn't the talent on the team that executes consistently right now. You got to start asking questions about Caleb Williams, right? And I talked about this with Wasted on numerous occasions. When he came out, I wasn't a big fan of Caleb Williams coming out. Everybody thought he was the generational talent at quarterback. The guy doesn't follow what the offensive coordinator wants to do as far as progressions go. He's a guy who wants to improvise first instead of staying in the pocket and reading defenses, right? There's a big problem with that. And that's just schematic-wise. Now, personality-wise, he doesn't have that quarterback command presence. As a quarterback, you kind of want that alpha dog on your team. He's a guy that wants to, hug his teddy bears and paint his nails and take naps with his cats and have a blanket and sip pumpkin spice lattes. He's that kind of guy, right? Nothing wrong with that kind of guy if that's who you are. But that's a problem when you're looking for a quarterback. So when you mix that with ability and just not having that command presence in the locker room, that's a big problem. And the question you have to ask is this a guy that we can invest our money, put faith in our franchise to move us forward? And Ben Johnson better make a decision quick, because if it fails, he's going to be looking for another job. So we'll see. Not jumping out of the window with that. It's early in the season. Maybe he'll figure it out. Take some time to figure out the offense and things like that. But the spotlight is on Caleb Williams, man. But I'm not going to talk about the Bears no more, man. But that's kind of how I see it. Accelerator, but I feel like Bears fans and Raiders fans are similar. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Both have the that F the world mentality. I agree. Last time we both won a Super Bowl was around the same time. So, yeah. And then we had some heartbreaks kind of later on down the line as of recent in this century. So, yeah, there is some parallels. I agree with you, man. Let me see. VBZLA, great offenses exploit the defense. Yeah, for sure, man. Absolutely. Sean's thoughts. You said that to me, and I disagree with that. Great teams do what is needed to make the plays. we kept running the ball, but switched up to the pass game. Versatility is key to great teams, in my opinion. Yeah, it is, right? And, when I say that is, you can't lose your philosophy either. You also can't lose what you're, what you think, your bread is going to be buttered, right? We saw that with the Chargers this last game against the Chiefs, right? Kind of switching over, pivoting over to kind of a little bit of a breakdown of what the Chargers do. The whole world thinks that the Chargers are going to run the ball, right? Jim Harbaugh is a guy that wants to run the ball at all costs. But what did he do against the Chiefs, right? He first 12 plays of the game, he passed the ball 8 times in order to set up the run, right? And, it's a game of chess, right? You can pass to set up the run. But what you really want to do is run the ball, right? That's your number one priority, right? And sometimes if you think man to man, it doesn't matter what you do, right? Your mentality is like, I'm going to beat the guy in front of me. And a team that has that mentality and can get the job done is a great team. So when I say that, you're going to take, regardless of what everybody knows you're going to do, you're going to take it regardless. That's what great teams do, because they're beating the man in front of them, right? It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter. I can tell you we're running to the left right now. Go ahead and stop it, right? That's what I mean by great teams still not just take what's given, but take what's not given. That's what I mean by that one, man. And it's a marathon in some cases, right? We saw a lot of passing the previous game with the Raiders. We saw a lot of passing previous game with the Chargers, but both teams want to run the ball. And maybe we see kind of a setup from the last game into this game to kind of set up what they actually want to do. And maybe not. Maybe they might do it again, similar to what they did. But at some point, they're going to pivot back to what they really want to do, is run the ball and own time of possession and things like that. And I think that's what the Raiders want to do. Maybe they don't. Maybe they do want to air it out this year. But one thing we do know from Jim Harbaugh, his mentality, he wants to run the ball. So I guess that's what I mean, man. But, hey, I don't know. Feel free to disagree with me. That's kind of how I see it, man. That's how I see it. Funky Hair Man Al Davis said, we don't take what you give us. We take what we want. Al Davis said it the best, man. Al Davis said it himself. So, hey, his words of gospel around here, man. I don't know about you. Let me see. George says slippery field. They had their own. They held their own pretty well. They'll become more cohesive very soon. Yeah, I hope so, man. I hope so. Let me see. Accelerator says we also forget the Raiders still have some money. We could pick up a couple more good players at midseason trade deadline. Yeah, that's true. Hopefully we can address these corners, man. I'm a little bit afraid of that. Caillou Blue had a good game, but we need some better. We need better. We need better. It's crazy how we beg for you guys, for guys who can play, and then when they have one, Kobe fans like, oh, this guy's probably going to be better if he balls. We need to pay him. If was a fifth, we all be drunk. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. That is true, right? But it's a fine line almost where we got a promising wide receiver core that we also want to develop. We don't want to have our guys kind of sit behind somebody, a homegrown guy, for a guy that's, I wouldn't say he's on the back end of his career, but a guy who, only has maybe a couple years left in the tank. And if we do extend him too far, then what if we do see a decline on that back end and we have to pay him and things like that? So it's a fine line. I say a 1-year extension. I said originally 2. I would like to see a 1-year extension, keep him 1 more year and see where we are with development wise. And if the 2 guys we did draft aren't developing the way we want them to, then we hit the draft the following year and get a guy, or bring in a free agent if we're one guy away, right? So 1 more year, give him a 1-year extension. I'm down with that. Was Devin White the best player on defense Sunday? Let's check out according to PFF, right? I would say that the best player was Devin White. I mean, he had 11 tackles, but he was 32nd out of 72 linebacker, 67.3 overall PFF, a a pass rush grade of 74 and a coverage grade of 60.9. I would say that he was pretty damn good. But one guy that really stuck out was Jermaine Pratt, 74.6 overall PFF grade, a 79.9 rush defense grade, and a coverage grade of 67.9. And Jamal Adams ranked second out of 72 linebackers, right? 90.9 PFF grade. Man, this dude was excellent. Pass rush grade of 92.5. This dude was everywhere on the field. We got to get some more reps for Jamal Adams. He looked excellent on the field. We got one. We got one with Jamal Adams. It's a long time coming to see him at linebacker. But Devin White played well. I think these linebackers as a whole played very well, including Tommy Eichenberg in relief for what's the guy's name? What's our guy's name? Shoot. What's his name, y'all? Landon Roberts, right? He came in and had a 70.2 PFF grade. Tommy Eichenberg did his thing, man. Tommy Eichenberg did his thing, and his whole defense, his linebackers as a whole did their thing. Another reason why they paid Jacoby is if you don't, free agents will look at you. That's a good point. That's a good point. If you're not paying your guys, then you got a reputation. That is a real thing, bro. That is a real thing. Johnson wishing he was in Vegas. Yeah. At this point, maybe. Man, excuse me. Let me see. Yeah, I said cats, bro. I said cats. Gaucho says, we dodge a bullet, JT said today. Maybe, man. Maybe. And let me see. Pillaging just for fun. Caleb Williams is garbage. I still, for the life of me, don't know why he went over Jaden Daniels. Yeah, I don't agree. I don't know why he did either. I thought, and I could be wrong about this, but even this, I said that Michael Penix Jr. was the best quarterback coming out of that class. Turns out to be Jaden Daniels, but Michael Penix Jr. looked pretty damn good against the Buccaneers, man. Almost had 300 yards passing. So, hey, there's something to say about that one, too. He's not generational. He's situational. Jaden won the Heisman and went second. Shit's crazy. Yeah, absolutely. But remember, the year before that, Caleb Williams won the Heisman Trophy. So he kind of rode that momentum of winning the Heisman the year before. That's why people gave him that kind of credit at that point. So remember, he also did win a Heisman. Let me see. Hey, you can talk about nails, but I'll be damned to talk about naps with cats. Yeah, man, you never want to take a nap with a cat, man, especially if you got bad allergies. Let me see. Felix, he says, hey, Big Mike, I ain't drinking pumpkin spice lattes no more. Hey, look, here's a little secret, man. I love pumpkin spice lattes. I don't care, man. Go get yourself a PSL. Be a basic bitch for one day, man. Go ahead and enjoy it, but I don't want my quarterbacks doing that. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man. Pillaging just for fun. Al Davis said it best. Don't just take what the defense gives, but take what we want. Facts. Absolute facts, man. Back when they had Rich Gannon, everyone knew they were going to run it up, the guy in the red zone, and they did it anyways. Yeah, man. You got to love that type of mentality. You got to love that mentality, man. Let me see. I'm gonna get down to the bottom, and we about to get out of here, y'all. It's simple. Kobe earned a couple years on contract. Hey, I'll be all right with that. Let me see. We got Joshua Gonda in the building. What's good? 808 Raider Nation, Hawaii chapter. I love it. Just win, baby. Keep up the good work, my brother. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Salute to you from way out there in the beautiful islands of Hawaii, man. Thanks for the support, man. And we got my guy Thor in the building. Raiders, man. My guy Thor's in the building, man. I appreciate you, man. Let me see. Ken, yeah, hey, man. PSLs, baby. PSLs. Come kick it with us. We going live at 8:30, man. This is my bedtime, bro. I'm gonna come in for a little bit, say what's up, bro. But yeah, man, I'm gonna say what's up in the chat. But yeah, I gotta be up at 3:30, man. I gotta be up at 3:30, bro. Let me see. But I'm gonna show some love, man. I'm gonna come in and check you out. Sean's thoughts: the online has to be better, and the run game will be legit. Genty showed a lot to me attacking that packed box. Yeah, man. Yeah. That's why I'm not afraid of Genty, man. I think he's going to be all right. O-line has some work to do. Let me see. I'm fearful of pumpkin spice because Wilkins may be behind me. Oh, man. Hey, drink your PSL in the comfort of your own home and lock your doors, man. That's the best way to do it. Man, Thor the Bill, he says, yee. You already know, man. Much love to you. But, guys, that is the show. Thank you guys for popping in, man. We talked a lot. About some stuff. We went deeply into, the Geno Smith buzz, man. There's some buzz going around, man. We're going to keep that momentum swinging and going, man. Offensive line has to pick it up. Hey, and guess what? I'll be back tomorrow. We're going to break down this Raiders-Chargers game tomorrow. We're going to get more deeper into it. Kind of wanted to talk about the offensive line and the Geno Smith buzz, and that's all I really had, man. But until tomorrow, you guys have a good night. You guys be safe, man. And, hey, take care, man. I'll see you guys on the next one. Final thoughts. Sean Stott says, all right, Nation, had to catch some of the Big Mike fleet. On to the next, Nation. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Appreciate everybody that came in here. 104 in the building. On the way out, you guys know what to do. Make sure you like the thumb, hit the sub, and share with your folks. One more round of applause from my guy, Funky Hairman, and SinCal 805 with the $10 haymaker and the $5 haymaker. Much love to you guys. Thank you guys for the support, man. I'm about to get out of here. You guys have a good night, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.
Your light illuminates their imperfections, hence their attempts to dull your shine. Light 'em up.
Dirt on my name and flowers grew right out the brown soil. My vision's clear as glass, the robe is purple satin plus the crown's royal. Allow me to give you a demonstration. Holding your breath waiting for me to fail only brings hyperventilation. See, I'm a soldier that's ready for any situation. So me and life double dated my trials and tribulations. Won't be remembered for not speaking out. I Google map my whole approach, so I chose not to take the peaceful route. I promise I can't make this shit up. I shed a tear then used the mic stand to hold my chin up. They plot and strategize on different ways to make me give up. That's easier said than done, like a woman that's 9 months pregnant doing sit-ups. Yeah, I read the book of life, defeat was never in my story. Just brutal fights on the battlefield is bloody and gory. Showing off is a fool's idea of glory. Call me foolish, then in the clutch I make them drop like I was Robert Ory. See, in this world you gotta sink or swim. Boy, I'm a legend, when I die my presence never will be felt again. This greatness rare, but see I kept it in. Isolation and the demons, guardian angels been my only friend. I've been at war with myself in silence. Had a mental malfunction, forced to go into hiding. For
I hope
powerless
you're
like
watching right
outside
now,
and
because
losing
then
its
you're gonna
stride.
understand whoever get in my way, I'ma dog walk their ass.